So today I figured, because the game is pretty new and everybody is complaining about it being a very slow-paced game, I would show you guys the cheapest team that you can create. I believe this team is under about 23 or 24,000 depending on how patient you are. But basically the fastest team you can make for cheap in NHL 18 Hockey Ultimate Team. That being said, let's go ahead and jump into the players. There's not a player on this team forward-wise that has skating less than 87, and defensively doesn't have skating less than 86. So you can make this team, like I said, for about 22 to 23 or less, depending on how much you want to pay attention to the market and prices. But you know, grind your solo challenges, you'll make enough coins. Play a couple games online, you'll make enough coins. It'll all be fine and dandy in the end. But this team is a very good team. You have some really quick players on there. Andrew Cogliano, Logan Couture, Cam Atkinson, Larkinson, Zabinajad, Zuccarello, Nyquist, Grenlin, Parise, Galchenyuk, Johnson, and Bodker. We're going to go and look in them in depth. Starting with Cogliano here. So 92 acceleration, 92 speed, probably one of the fastest players in the game for a base card, and he's 83 overall. He's going to run you about 800 coins. You're going to get him for less than 1,000. Definitely a really fast player that, you know, is going to get you a break. So I put him on the first line because I figured it's best to have him out there for that. Shot in hands, not the greatest. Checking and defensive, again, not the greatest. But with the speed, you're not really looking for a team that can do it all. You're looking at a team that can beat the other team speed-wise, especially if you don't have the greatest path luck. So Cogliano is definitely a great player to have on your team for that exact reason. Moving on now, Logan Couture up the middle. He's a little bit more pricey. You can find him ranging between 1.3K and 1.8K, but anyways, 89 acceleration and 89 speed, so very quick player. He only has 87 skating, but that factors into the agility, balance, and endurance as well. I just go off of the acceleration and speed for these guys, so 89 skating for him pretty much. His shot is a lot better, and his hands are really good too. Checking, not the greatest, and defensive he's alright. So definitely another good player to have up the middle for you on your first line, and he also has 78 faceoffs, so that's not bad also if you're going for a speedy player that isn't too much money. So again, between 1.3K to 1.8, high range 2, but you'd probably get him for less than that if you wanted to be patient. Next up is Cam Atkinson. He's a little bit smaller, 5'8", 182 pounds, but he's got 91 acceleration and 89 speed for 88 skating. Really good shot with 86 there and 87 hands. Another really good card that's really offensive based. So definitely a better player to balance out the fact that Cogliano is a little bit worse on the shot and hands, but it balances itself out. Like, his checking isn't good. Obviously, he's 5'8". You can't expect him to have really good checking. And defensive category is good. So as long as you know how to play defense, you're good with Atkinson. And he is just an absolute beast out there. Like, he's so fast. It's honestly so crazy. Moving on now to Dylan Larkin, another super fast guy, but his faceoffs just aren't there for me, so I put him on the wing. 91 acceleration though, 91 speed, 88 skating on the car. He's got pretty much accurate, you know, about average shot, and hand category being around the 84-85 range. Defensively, again, a card that, you know, isn't going to stand there AI-wise and be really good for you, but he'd be better for you to control him, and checking isn't really the greatest. 190 pounds, you can expect him to probably be better checking in later games. He's only 21, but again, a wicked fast card to have on your team, and I believe he goes for less than 1,000 as well. You can pick him up for like 800 or 700 coins, or I think coins, I was going to say pucks, but about 800 or 700 coins is what you can get him for this year, so that is definitely really good to see. I think he is very underpriced. Coming up the middle now is Mika Zabinajad, and Zabinajad is a little bit more pricey. I think he is in the 1,000 range, so between 1,000 and 1.5K is what you can get him for. But he's got 88 speed, 88 acceleration, so he's got 88 skating. He also has 78 faceoffs, so very important to have high faceoffs, and he's one of the higher faceoff rating cards in the game for having this speed so far base-wise. There's no special cards out in the game yet, so you can't really go off of that all too much, but you know, he's not bad. His shot is really good. It's above average, I would say. Same with hands, and he can actually check people, being 6'2" and 215. Defensive skill, again, a little bit below average, but like I said, this team, you're not really going off. At defense, you're going off more speed. You're not building a complete team. So Zabinajad there, also a really good player to have, and he is like 1.5K on average. You can get him for less than that if you're patient. Moving on now to Matt Zuccarello, his actual teammate in the NHL. An insane card, 91 acceleration, 91 speed, again, very fast, and you can get Zuccarello for in the 1,000 range as well, or less if you are patient. Really good shot, above average, really good hands. Can't check though, being 5'7" and 179 pounds. Very small guy on the team. Defensive again, about the average thing for him. But Zook is just an absolute monster on the ice. He is so fast. It is absolutely crazy. Just insane. Moving on now to Zach Parise. So Parise has 88 acceleration and 88 speed as well for 87 skating. His shot's a little bit below average, hands is a little bit above average. He can sort of check, kind of can't really, but he is a little bit more defensive, so I decided to put him on the third line. 5'11" there. Parise is definitely a good player. For even for the below average shot that he has, I found that he has a pretty decent shot in the game, so that's definitely something that benefits him out a little bit more. So, and you can get him for under 1,000. He's very cheap player. There's guys who have him up for like 1.5, 1.2. Just be patient. You can get him for under 1,000. He's not very sought after right now in the game. Centering him is his teammate Michael Granlund there, 89 acceleration and 87 speed. So one of the few players that has a different between the acceleration and speed, but still very fast to round out and 87 skating. And he is good across the board except for checking. That's because he's 5'10" and 184. But you know, shot is average, hands is above average, and defense is actually above average as well. I would say at 86. So he's actually a better player defensively for your team. So the third line is kind of a line I like to have be a little bit more defensive on the ice. So I figured Granlund would be a really good player for that. Again, very fast player, good on the faceoff, so 76 there. So that is definitely sought after. There's not really any faceoff guys over 80, and you're not going to be paying over like close to 10K for. So you kind of have to make do with these guys, but you know, they can get the job done being as fast as they are. You're going to go up against teams that probably don't have as fast of a team with this guy. But if you spend your coins correctly, you can get this team for very cheap. Like I said, under 22K. And Granlund is an absolute monster out there too. I used him at the beginning of the year so far. Well, I guess it is, but beginning of the year. And I found him really good, very fast, and you know, just a really good card all around. Gustav Nyquist is on the line as well. 91 acceleration, 88 speed. So again, one of those cards that's faster but has a lower top end for 87 skating. Average shot, above average hands, no checking, being 5'11" and 81 defense. So again, a quicker player out there on the ice that you know, is kind of a theme. The smaller guys really aren't the greatest at defense, kind of like a Cam Atkinson kind of player. But again, just so fast on the ice that it doesn't really matter. You can get back and play. You can poke the puck away. You can get in the defensive lanes with this guy. And on this team, the Dangler Zone synergy is actually activated for him. There's only one synergy activated because these guys don't really have the greatest synergies, being gold cards. But yeah, so Gustav Nyquist, again, under 1,000 coins. I think Granlund, actually, I forgot to say, I think he's around 1.5, but you can get him for less than that. Obviously, you can get all these guys for less than that if you're patient. So if you're really trying to pinch coins and stuff. Nyquist is like a 700 coin player. Again, not very sought after, but that speed is what makes him a very good player, in my opinion. Coming into our fourth line here is where we have Alex Galchenyuk. Now, you might be thinking Alex Galchenyuk, okay, 85 overall. He's a little bit more expensive. I think he's around the 2K range, but I think I picked him up for 1.5 because I was patient, like I said. But Galchenyuk is a complete offensive player, 87 for the skating, 89 acceleration, and 89 speed. I think Galchenyuk is just an absolute monster out there. 87 shot and 88 hands. So offensively, a very good card to have on your team. His faceoffs are a 70, so it's like it's not the greatest. So that's why I didn't put him on the center on this line. But you know, checking not really the greatest, and defense is whatever. But what he lacks for in the defensive category, he definitely makes up for in the offensive category. So definitely a player you can get for about 1.5 if you're patient enough. And moving on, Tyler Johnson is the centerman on this line, and that's the reason why he has 77 faceoffs, but 91 acceleration, 89 speed. Another card that is just absolutely insanely quick. 5'8" though, 183 pounds, so he can't really throw the body with a 77 checking. 85 defense though, so he's another guy that actually computer AI is going to play really well defensively for you, and that's really important in my opinion, I think. To have some guys on your team that actually do that. So I did want to incorporate guys like that because you're not going to be able to control everybody on the ice at all the time. So, like, quick enough, you know, good enough offensive category, put them on the line. I mean, you can run these guys on whatever line that you want. I just kind of ran them the way that I figured would probably be the best. So Johnson there, again, fourth line centerman, And on his wing is Mikhail Bodkru, who has 90 acceleration and 90 speed. So again, one of the fastest cards in the game. Shots a little bit lacking there. Hands are about average, and defensive category is meh at best with 81 checking and 81 defense. But you know, 90 overall for skating, like that's, or I guess 87 skating, 90 for speed and acceleration, like that's just an absolutely insane card. And he's under about 1,000 as well, is what you can get him for if you're patient. Johnson, like I said, I think I forgot actually, he's about 1,000 as well. So yeah, you can get both these guys for under 1,000 if you're patient. And that's the forward core. So the forward core is very good. Defensively, this is what the team looks like. Riley, Barry, Spurgeon, Brodin, Yandel, and Sami Vatanen. Looking into these guys in depthly, Morgan Riley, 88 acceleration, 88 speed. So again, really fast for a defenseman, I would say, in my opinion. Shot a little bit lacking. Hands are good there. Checking isn't the greatest, and defensively, he's about average. But a fast defenseman is really sought after in this game, as you're going to go up against people who have really fast forwards, and you want guys that are going to be able to get back, and Morgan Riley is exactly that. He plays really well. That defensive awareness is at 85 and offensive is at 87. Very good guy to have on your team. 88 discipline as well, so you know he's not going to be taking any stupid penalties out there. He's partnered with Tyson Barrie, basically just off the fact that they're both 84 overall, so I put him on first line, but 88 acceleration for him and 87 speed. So again, pretty much just as fast as Morgan Riley. Definitely better in the hands category and defensive category, so I wanted to play him out there with Riley to kind of make up for what he was lacking. Can't really check, but in this game, forechecking is like your poke checks, that's pretty much the entire game there. 89 for offensive awareness and 87 for defensive awareness is very important for Tyson Barrie there, and I think that is definitely something that is very good to have for him. Jonas Brodin there, you have 87 for acceleration, 87 for speed, sorry. Again, lackluster shot, 84 defensively, 84 hands, 86 defensively. Better card for defense and very quick to get back. You also have Jared Spurgeon, who's his teammate, and he has 88 acceleration and 88 speed as well, and 86 on defense there. Not really greatest checker at being 5'9", but discipline 93, so you know he's not going to be taking any stupid penalties for you, and 86 for both awareness. Definitely a very good card, and both of these guys I believe are under, I actually think all the defensemen are like under 800 coins, so very, very cheap to get. And third line here is Keith Yandel, 87 acceleration, 88 speed. Has a decent shot, hands are very good, defensively lacking a little bit, but the awareness is about 82, 87, discipline is 80. That's not the worst, but you know, he's very quick, so that's where he comes in play in the team. Getting back on the forecheck is very important. Sami Vatanen as well, 88 for acceleration and 88 for speed to round out the defensive core. He has a better shot, and he's not bad at defense actually with the 84 defensive awareness and the 86 offensive awareness. Checking is again lacking because he's a smaller guy, but the hands are definitely very good, so you know he's not going to be turning the puck over with any stupid, just stupid drop on a deke or anything like that. So that's the defensive core of the team. Going into goalies, I just threw in Ben Bishop and Scott Darling, both guys you can get for basically under 1,000 coins. I figured that you know, Ben Bishop is a hot favorite, and a lot of people like him because of his size. I'm not the biggest Ben Bishop fan. I used him. I didn't like him at all. I like Rene a lot better. And Darling I just threw there because under 1,000, and you know he's a pretty good goalie. You can count on him to do you all right. So both these guys are under 1,000. So but team is about worth 22 to 25,000, or about 20 to 19 if you want to be patient and get these guys at their lowest points. But like I said, this is probably the best team that you could create, the best fastest team that you could create at this point in the game for under 25k. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know if you're going to try this team out for yourself. Let me know how it works online for you. Definitely be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on post notifications if you haven't already done that. And I will talk to you guys next time.